This is definitely going to be a raincoat kind of day, because do we ever have a mess out there. So the mess that has been created is the fact that we got a lot of rain overnight. The ground is still frozen. There's nowhere for it to really go. And the grade isn't perfect around here, given the construction. So we've got water laying in a few different spots. In front of here, definitely where you don't want water. But let's go see what the new barn looks like. I'm thinking she's going to be a mess. So, trick number one is, little deep. But, actually this is better because we were running into the challenge that our dry cow pen, our low spot, all the water's running from kind of all directions, particularly up in the front corner where the grade just isn't very good. So it's running into here as a low spot. And the trouble that I was having this morning when I tried to pump it was the fact that, like, it's frozen underneath. It's solid ice, so you can't dig a hole to get the pump going. Careful. She's a bit slippery still. And that's the trouble, is there's water on top, there's ice underneath in some spots, or it's soft and the frost is gone. Oh, she's sloppy. But the good news is I think we can start to get some of this water gone. So let's do that. Not great for Calvin and Justin, the excavator and the plumber, because we have to redo a job. See this? I don't know if you remember, we've got to be careful around here, because there's going to be a big hole this big. I don't know if you remember, from a few weeks ago, we dug this. It's in the middle of the barn. It's going to hold wastewater. This was dug and sticking out of the ground only this much maybe, and surrounded by 3/4 stone, by clear stone. And I mean, there's a little bit of water in the bottom, but not a lot. And clearly we should have filled it with water, because sometime overnight, I don't know, the water in the ground, the frost coming out of the ground, I don't know what did it, but this thing was laying out of the ground this morning. It basically popped right out of the ground. Another nice section of red. It's just nice how well it's going to match with this barn that's going to be sticking around and staying. And just looks pretty nice and bright. So that's a nice job done. Now what they're working on now is getting it insulated, which is pretty nice. So this whole wall will get insulated, and then they'll start putting the truss core, kind of a plastic, a white plastic, all along this. Now, just in case you ever wanted to see what 100 $100,000 looked like. I want to show you. Amazing, isn't it? It is funny when you build a project like this that it's not surprising if just a random truck shows up that you've got to unload, carrying something that's going to cost tens of thousands of dollars. This is our manure equipment, which arrived this week. Scrapers over there, box scraper, some wheels for the box scraper, drives that are going to pull the scrapers and chains, and some random skids of who knows what's under there. But nothing like getting $100,000 and then all I did was put it outside in the elements, in the mud, because I don't know where else to put it. Now, if you wanted an update on what now appears to be a padded room, this is what we've got here. So, what they've done, and this is Schoonderwoerd have come in, what they want to do is start pouring a couple of footings, some of the curbs for walls, and basically start on this room. The idea is to basically pull the frost out of here, which is what they've done. So under here, maybe I'll show you, where can I show you here under? Maybe I can sneak in here. Oh, there we go. See that? Those lines? Basically what they've done is create a heated floor. And so there's a whole bunch of those lines that are running under there, and then they've covered it with the insulated tarps. And the idea is that those lines will heat up to like 130, 140 degrees Fahrenheit and pull the frost out, and pull the frost out in like a day, really quickly. So they've got all those laid out. Unfortunately, the switch on the boiler gave out shortly after it kind of started working, so it's not working perfectly right now, but at least this is all in place, and when that switch gets fixed and changed out, then they'll be able to heat this up awfully fast and get some cement, and we'll kind of start to get an idea of where these walls are going to be. I think that's going to look really sharp. The big question, and here's the quiz for you. I'd love you to make a comment down under the video. What color do you stain those timbers? Knowing that the barn is red, the trim is white, do you stain it kind of a traditional timber stain of like a brown, darkish brown? Do you just clear coat it and leave it light? Do you stain it maybe something different? Do you stain it, I wondered about, you know, staining some kind of version of a brownish gray? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. What do you stain that to make the front look perfect? Well, it's definitely been a funny weather week, because you saw the mess we had after we had a whole lot of rain. Well, that afternoon was freezing rain, then ice pellets, then snow, and now we're back to winter awfully fast. In fact, it may look nice and bright and sunny, but it is actually a wicked day with a lot of wind. And as you can see from the front of the barn, we've got that tie par. Oh goodness. We've got that tie par that is getting worse. Do you think we can fix it ourselves? It's time to be carpenters in a nasty windstorm. Oh goodness. You can see as this blows off, I think what it's going to do is pull all this plastic that they put in. So we're going to see if we can fix it. The good news is this is the weekend that I was going to steal the lift. Basically, I traded lunch for the crew for a couple of hours with the lift so that I could trim some trees. I thought it was actually kind of a safer way to do it than me on a bucket of a loader with Dad driving and me running a chainsaw. I mean, it's how we usually do it, but let's do it safer if we have the equipment. So, let's see if we can get this started, and we're gonna fix that front cover. Okay, girl? All right. A little cold. Good girl. Now the trick is, I think we're going to have a tricky time because we actually have to drive it out of here. Do you think we'll get along all right doing it?
I don't know.
I don't know that either. What could go wrong, eh? Well, I'm not super confident that that is going to hold today in this wind, but at least we made the effort. We might make the effort again later on. We'll see if wind's supposed to die down this afternoon, so we'll hope that it lasts till at least then. I was going to use this to trim trees today, but we are not doing that. Instead, we are going inside and we are going to have a spiked coffee.